Hey, everybody. Welcome to Modern Ops Unfiltered with Amy and Michael.
Quick, short, not a full episode, right? We're going to do just talk about what we've been up to really quick, and then Amy's got some kind of special announcements, right? So I was at Google Next last week, or Google Cloud Next. Where were you, Amy?
I was at SQLBits in the UK.
How was that jet lag? How'd you
Oh,
do?
you know what? The food is so worth it. Sometimes I actually forget about it.
Food in London was good. Are you sure about that?
Yeah,
Whoa.
poached eggs and chocolate. And then we went to
Okay.
Wales. It was in Wales this year. It was actually really cool.
Oh, you were in Wales, so you weren't in London. Okay, I thought you were in London.
Yeah, we flew into London and then we were in Wales. And this year, it was a really good event. I'll have to share some pictures because it was just a very beautiful place, had a nice hotel. Everything was laid out really well. What about you?
Well, I was like the exact opposite of Wales, which would be Las Vegas. So we were staying in the Luxor. My entire team from Visio, we all went, and the conference is in the Mandalay Bay. Um, and there was only a mere 35,000 of us there, so it was pretty intense and just so crowded.
Did
I
you
mean,
say
it's just
35,000?
35,000 people were there for Google Next.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll like I said, we're gonna share some videos, kind of do like a maybe a kind of a video montage of all of our stuff that we did the last over the last weekend. But yeah, 35,000. Um, I don't know how you feel about SQL Bits, but this was my first non kind of Microsoft-ish conference, and let's just say I was completely blown away. There was like this energy. I think part of it's probably like the AI buzz and how AI is changing everything. But man, it was intense. So I'm
What
kind of a
was
little
the
like
differences, do you think, in the vibe?
um well, first off, I mean one of the main vibe was everything was AI related. So every session I went to was database related for the most part. I went to one that was about Shopify and how they use AI agents to basically man their entire platform. Um, but it was all about that. And everybody seemed pretty excited about the future and what AI is going to bring. And we hear so much about AI killing all the jobs and everything, but everybody here was we're all kind of behind the scenes leveraging AI. And when I think we kind of see what it possibly could mean for what we could do. So I don't know. I'm still trying to decipher between marketing hype and actual, hey, this is actually going to come into fruition and actually work for us. Um, one of the things sessions was on like a deep dive into Big Table, which is like their PaaS offering for data warehouse. So that's a Big Table, BigQuery, sorry.
BigQuery. Mm-hmm.
BigQuery, and then they said like their latest release has solved the problem of parameter sniffing. So they're optimizing
Interesting.
like their optimizer, and they had the product manager for BigQuery there talking about it. And so I asked him like, how did you solve parameter sniffing? And he gave me the whole list of reasons. I can't remember what they are now, but I was like, okay, if that's real, we're right on. And then they had on that same talk was when they had Home Depot show up, their director of data analytics or something like that, and they're talked about his 15 petabyte data warehouse. And I mean, I'm sure there's things out there that are bigger, but I've never heard of something that big. I've never worked on anything that big. So I've managed an entire estate that's in the petabytes, but not like one data warehouse or something like that. So anyway, it was just pretty freaking awesome. So, it's all about database technologies that I've never used, like Spanner and um, Cloud SQL, which Cloud SQL can be SQL Server, MySQL, or Postgres. Big Table is like they have an in-memory big table that like you don't need Redis anymore. You could use that. I mean, there's all these things and how they all work together. So you
That
could
makes
have
me
a
wonder, though. because I'm my mind is going crazy right now on 35,000 people.
Right.
So, like, I'm stuck at that because lately, people are talking about how do we get more people to come to the meetups? How do we get people to come to the conferences? But 35,000 people, Microsoft SQLCon, FabCon, I think was like 8,000.
Yeah.
35,000. So I wonder, that makes me wonder if there is a problem there. And the reason why I'm saying that is if you have one database type that you're covering, or maybe two, maybe you're only going to get a fraction of the people. But if you have more, like if you're covering more, technology, AI, MySQL, Postgres, BigQuery, SQL Server, like you're covering all of that, you're probably going to get a lot more people involved because they work with multiple types of environments and domains and
Yeah.
different types of
Yeah.
cloud, right?
Yeah. And like Brent wrote an article about why people aren't coming to conferences. I think he just posted it recently or there yesterday or today or something like that, talking about one of the reasons why we used to always go to conferences was because Microsoft was releasing like every other year. Like you hit 2014, then you had 2016, then you had 2017, 2019, 22, now 25. So now the release cycle is kind of stretching out there a little bit. So there's what big release or what big feature has been dropped in or released into SQL Server. I guess you could say dropped because they dropped big data cluster. That didn't live very long. But what's there somebody who what's besides coming for the people, what's there for somebody to learn new? I mean, the to me it seems like the AI offering inside of or the vector search inside of SQL Server is like kind of from what I saw, kind of Google's kicking their ass. So
I actually bought stock in Google when you told me you were attending the conference and how big it was. I was literally like looking at buying stock, and then it went up like crazy. Yesterday it was 7%, today it was 9. You keep on thinking
yeah,
it's going to drop, but all of these other companies are dropping, and I don't know what it is, but anyway, it just shows you that there's growth. But I hear that Google is dominating the AI market. And I did have some different thoughts when I was attending SQLBits based on AI, because you're right. I think that a lot of the
yeah.
sessions were, um, it wasn't just SQL Server. It was pretty shocking, actually. It was a wide range of topics.
Mm.
Um, but the conference was really cool. Have you ever been to Bits at all?
Mm.
Oh
No,
my gosh. So it's
I heard it's
crazy.
good.
Oh, it was insane. I was on the app, and if you wanted to, you could actually view a session on the app. You can view, like, actually watch the video. Like, I was running late and I wanted to watch Brent's session. I open up the app and I can actually watch him
Mhm.
on the app, and I thought that was really cool. The other thing is that you could sit in this area, and they had like big, huge bean bags, and you could go to the desk and you can ask for headphones, and you could watch whatever session you wanted. It was a huge screen. All of the sessions were on the board, and you could listen to whatever one you wanted, and you could lay there, eat snacks, and watch whatever you wanted
Mm.
without being physically in the room. But you could also
Right.
go to the room. It was just a lot more, in my opinion, I felt like it was very, very technical because you had like other options. It wasn't just go to the session and sit in a room and you had to be there. They had all of these other options
Hmm.
that was filled with technology. So I really love that. I felt like they did a really good job. And I don't know if you had anything like that where you were at, where you noticed that they were leveraging technology in a way that you hadn't seen before in the conferences, or if it was kind of the same traditionally.
I mean, they had the Google Next app, which I just deleted, but like it was so big that they had like how to get directions. Click on get directions to your next room. It pulls up a map like you're in Uber, and you can follow your little dot to your room. As far as watching them, like watching those, like you mentioned, I don't think we had that. Um, uh, But as far as how the conference was laid out, I mean, it was, Mandalay Bay is humongous. So, I mean, obviously it's got to be
Mhm.
humongous to fit in 35,000 people. Then they had, not that this is going to date myself, but they had a Weezer was there for a concert,
Oh
private
my
con,
gosh.
and some country artist. I'm not I don't listen to country, but some country artist that was at the Las Vegas Raiders stadium, the Death Star. So they had that. So that was one night. But anyway, yeah, but as far as technology, this just the layout and the expo, like the vendor area was hu enormous. Probably two football fields worth of vendor stuff there. It was
What kind
wild.
of swag were they giving out there? I'm curious because there were a lot of people there and they were probably some really good vendors.
Oh yeah, I mean, uh, Datadog, Deloitte, KPMG. Think of basically every monitoring platform out there except SolarWinds. SolarWinds wasn't there. Um, all
No,
these
they were
other
at Bits.
right. Yeah, with Kevin was there. They had all these AI startups, doing some sort of AI platform to do something. That's one of the guys we're going to have on that I met, David, that we're going to talk to next week. Kind of some AI platform on top of, on the e-commerce space. Just then they had a puppy center. Like if you wanted to come and pet a puppy, maybe you needed to de-stress. There was a whole section where there was probably 20 or 30 puppies just running around, and you could go in the gate, and that was kind of cool.
I would have gone
Um,
just for the puppies.
yeah, and then they had a whole big, Google section showing you all their new tools. Like so, their main image generation thing is called Nano Banana, and they'd go in and take your picture, run it through one of their things, and create an AI image of you and do all this kind of cool
Yeah.
stuff. It reminded me like at Pass, was it 2 years ago when Pure Storage was doing that thing where they'd print off
SolarWinds
like
did
the
it at
the
SQLBits.
super
I'm gonna have
the
to send
superhero
pictures. It's
thing?
really awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So they did so kind of like that, but and then they had a whole government like Fed sled kind of side of the house. So if you're like in the public sector, you could go talk to people over there. So I mean, it was the only thing I will say that sucked is the food was absolutely horrible. For the when you go like for your lunch, is awful. That was the only bad thing.
That's funny because that's the only reason why I actually go to the conferences is for the
Oh,
food. And the food
it
at
was
Bits was
gross.
hands down amazing. I actually have not been able to eat very well since I've been
Yeah,
here back at home because I miss the food at Bits. They were
it was
very
awful.
much they catered to every kind of person. Whether you have allergies, whether you're a vegetarian, a
Right.
vegan, or whatever. Like if you can't have, pork
Yeah.
or, different types of vegetarian needs. I felt like the food was really good. Yeah. Oh, they had amazing, yeah, they had some really good options.
Yeah.
Snacks, pretzels, chocolates, things that you can just go and eat. They even had like a quiet room with swinging chairs and whatnot. And then they had an outdoor space. I actually posted a video about it where you can walk out and you can actually go on a hiking trail. It was really cool. I mean, it was just hands down one of the best conferences that I've ever been to. AWS was there and they had a coffee machine. And it was funny because Microsoft was there and they had a coffee machine. And I drank a lot of coffee while I was there, but they
Hmm.
had where they sprayed a logo on your coffee and you could
Oh,
pick.
right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could pick like, SQL fabric or whatever. That was kind of cool.
No,
But
you
yeah.
mean Fabric hasn't changed names yet? I thought they were gonna. I'm a
Well, it
hater.
was interesting because you would think that, with all of the, you know, personally from my experience, I was really impressed because when I went to Bits, I actually went to speak on GitHub, and you assume that DBAs and database professionals don't know anything about version control. Went into the session and asked how many people have used GitHub. Every single person. How many people
Mm.
have used command line? I think every single person raised their hand. How many
Hmm.
people have used a Mac? Most people have raised their hand. Like, I thought it was pretty impressive because the knowledge, it could have been that it was a intermediate session now that I look back, but I feel like back in the day, you didn't really get that. You maybe had one or two people that knew version control. And so I thought that was
Or
pretty
they
cool,
or they
but
use like Redgate source control or something like that, or
like a flyaway or something, right?
yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. I would say that the highlight of going to a conference isn't just what you learn, it is the networking piece. And one awesome thing that I got to experience that I did not really know how it was going to work out is they had a costume party and they do themes. Every year they do a bits themes. And in the past they did like I don't know. I'm trying to think about some of the themes that they have done in the past, but this
Hmm.
year it was cartoons, about 90s themes. And
Right.
you went Friday night and they had this party and it was really cool. Everybody dressed up as cartoons. Most people actually dressed up as pretty cool. I dressed up as Marge Simpson.
No, I saw that. It looked great. You look great.
Yeah, Kevin Kline, he dressed up as Pi Pi. And it was a lot of fun. I think that was one of the best things about going to SQLBits is I actually felt a huge sense of community. I don't know about you and going to, your conference if you felt that, if you connected with people on a whole other level, or if you had learned something just from talking to the people that you were sitting next to. Is that something that you felt?
Mine was different because our entire team went. So and on my team, there's eight of us, I think, eight or nine, maybe 10, I can't remember. So we were all together. So, and some of them are from Dallas, a lot of them are from Denver. Our manager is from Brooklyn. He was there, and so we were doing all of our events together. So that was as far as the people part for me, that was probably the best thing. As far as meeting other people, and some a little bit, but ours was mainly like a team building, bonding experience for us. So that was really cool.
You know what? I actually forgot that that was a big thing about attending conferences is team building. And I think that lately I've been seeing that companies will only send one person per year or one
Hmm.
person per conference. I think they're missing that part because if you're working remote and you're not sending your team, and you're sending one person and that one person has to come back and train the team, especially if you're sending a manager, which is kind of weird. I've seen companies do that
Yeah.
where they only send a manager or they send a manager and a DBA.
Or like
That,
maybe like the high, it's like an award for the high performer. And so they
yeah.
just send that person. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I mean it was pretty cool. I mean Walmart. So Vizio is owned by Walmart. So Walmart has a huge GCP contract. So I don't know if they comped us. I have no idea. But like they're like if they kind of asked the question, hey, who wants to go to Google next? Our entire team raised their hand. All right, cool. You're all going. So I mean, I guess that's one of the benefits of working for a super large enterprise.
Yeah, well, I have worked for enterprise companies and it was the same thing. They don't see the value, and maybe that's the problem, you know? Looking
Yeah,
hindsight now, I think that you've made me realize a couple of things. Like one, running events that have multi-database platforms, not just one, is going to grab more attention, get people to attend, and maybe that's something that I need to implement more in, the meetups especially because you
yeah,
can't just isolate, one database type. The second thing is that it's a sense of community and engagement. It's also team building. But yeah,
yeah.
overall, I actually really loved Bits. It was amazing. It was
That's
really
cool.
fun.
So why don't we talk about what you want to announce? So you got been doing some work behind the scenes for the podcast here. What have you been doing?
Yeah, sure. So we've had some feedback, and the feedback was is that we we were asked if we could do an audio version of the podcast. I
Hmm.
added a bunch of episodes into Spotify, and Mike is going to be editing and adding some more details because we can have them go across Apple or whatnot. So we're still looking into that, and so we're working together on simplifying that, but we do have the first four episodes on Spotify. You can look
Yep.
up Modern Ops Unfiltered and you should be able to find it. We'll share that. And then the second thing is that we're going to start opening a way for communication to us, questions that you might have. If we have a guest on the show, we'll be able to
Hmm.
open some sort of form or a survey where you can ask questions and we can ask that to the guest on the podcast. And then if you just have questions at all, you can comment on YouTube, you can comment on the Spotify, you can submit it on the forms or questionnaires, even submit a LinkedIn chat to either of us or both of us, and we'll be able to get to that. So we're definitely open for anything that you'd like to see on the podcast, special guests you think would be great, or even topics that you want to hear about.
And I have to admit, so if you did leave a comment to our already released episodes, I guess honestly I didn't know if anybody actually watched it. So people are actually leaving comments. So
Oh, that's horrible.
we
We've
are
had a
I
lot
am
of
trying
people
to
watch it.
I didn't realize, and then I didn't. I'm like, oh yeah, people are actually commenting. I forgot you can do that in YouTube. So I'm going down and responding to all your comments. If I have not done that in a timely manner, I apologize. So
Me too. We'll definitely be looking out for those things. And I do appreciate all of the comments and questions. And I'm excited. I feel like, we're taking off and a lot more awesome things to come. We'll have more guests based on, innovation, AI, trends, things that you're going to be really excited about.
right on. All right, so I guess we'll kind of go ahead and wrap up, and we'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah.